Recently, former world gymnastics champion and ex-Chinese gymnastic team member Wu Liufang found herself in an online dispute with fellow gymnast Guan Chenchen. Guan sharply criticized Wu in the comments section, accusing her of performing provocative dances online and damaging the reputation of the Chinese gymnastics team. The controversy quickly escalated, resulting in Wu being banned from the platform for a month. Fortunately, Wu was reinstated a few days ago, and her follower count has since skyrocketed, now surpassing 6 million. In hindsight, Wu Liufang appears to have turned adversity into an advantage, using the incident to garner considerable attention. This controversy, in my view, is quite telling, as it reflects certain aspects of modern China. It underscores the presence of two distinct and sharply divided groups within Chinese society. Hi, I'm Dongxiang. Welcome to Dig Into China, where we explore China in depth to reveal unique perspectives. In this episode, I'll dive into the issue of division in Chinese society. The recent incident involving Wu Liufang and Guan Chenchen serves as a prime example of the two distinct groups in China today. Let's begin with Wu Liufang. Why has she garnered such widespread empathy, and why did her follower count surge so dramatically after her ban was lifted? I believe it's because Wu Liufang embodies a segment of society that I call the victim group in today's China. Wu Liufang began practicing gymnastics at the age of 4, joined the provincial team at 11, and advanced to the national team at 15. The first half of her life seemed to progress smoothly. However, at 18, in 2012, she suffered an injury during a balance beam competition, which dashed her hopes of competing in the London Olympics. This injury also brought an abrupt end to her professional career. After retiring, Wu Liufang encountered challenges in her life due to her shorter height, a consequence of years of gymnastics training, which restricted her job opportunities. She attempted various careers, including working as a sports teacher in Jiaxing, but her position was taken. Later, she worked as a teaching assistant in Guangzhou and at a training institution, but her employer delayed paying her wages. In the end, she had no choices but to turn to live streaming, performing provocative dances to make a living. Wu Liufang's experience may not be considered overly tragic, as she has a sizable fan base and likely earns more than most. However, her life has certainly been full of challenges. What stands out is how her story reflects a woman who, through hard work, courageously battled the harsh realities of society, earned money, and transformed her life. As she said during one of her live streams, she became an internet celebrity to change her destiny. In my opinion, Wu Liufang is a true positive energy influencer, far more so than those so-called patriotic influencers. Many people see themselves in her story, recognizing their own struggles. Like Wu, they are all bearing the weight of immense social pressure, whether it's recent graduates facing unemployment or middle-aged individuals balancing the care of both elderly parents and young children. The difference is that, unlike most, Wu Liufang managed to overcome this pressure. In the context of China's economic slowdown, those feeling this pain belong to what I call the victim group. They share the same struggles and societal burdens, which is why they can sympathize with Wu Liufang. While Wu Liufang has received widespread empathy from netizens, one question arises. If ordinary Chinese people can relate to her, why didn't Guan Chenchen, a fellow gymnast, feel the same way? After all, they both share a similar experience from their early lives in gymnastics. So why did Wu Liufang not only fall to gain support or sympathy from Guan Chenchen, but instead face rejection? What's behind this? Let's now focus on Guan Chenchen. Although both she and Wu Liufang are gymnasts, they are in completely different categories. Guan Chenchen actually represents another group in China today, which I call the winners. In the previous episode, I discussed whether China's economy is collapsing, and the answer is definitely no. However, while the economy hasn't collapsed, it is undeniably experiencing a downturn. It's crucial to understand the difference between economic collapse and economic decline. Economic collapse means that everyone becomes poorer, whereas an economic downturn means that most people are getting poorer, but some manage to maintain their income and a few even see their income grow. The difference between these two can be clearly seen through the examples of Wu Liufang and Guan Chenchen. In an economic downturn, people like Wu Liufang face great difficulty finding work, and their income is very low. They can only make money by working harder. Though sometimes even that doesn't lead to success. Since it's not an economic collapse, but a downturn, there are still individuals like Guan Chenchen. She is able to leverage her Olympic achievements to receive national rewards, allowing her to live a comfortable life even in the midst of economic decline. However, if China were experiencing a full economic collapse, the situation would be different. Wu Liufang would likely face even greater difficulty finding work, and her income would become even more meager. While this would intensify her current struggles, the real change would be that Guan Chenchen's life wouldn't be easy either. In an economic collapse, even government employees might face problems getting paid. So, despite her Olympic gold, Guan Chenchen could find her prize money minimal or even non-existent. Winning the medal wouldn't guarantee her a comfortable life, and she too would be hustling daily for even a smaller amount of income. Here, it's clear that if China were experiencing a full economic collapse, Guan Chenchen would likely be able to empathize more with Wu Liufang's situation, as they would both be victims. However, the reality is that the economy is only in a downturn. Guan Chenchen's income hasn't been impacted. In fact, it has significantly increased thanks to her Olympic victory. Unlike Wu Liufang, who has become a victim of the economic downturn, Guan Chenchen remains unaffected, positioning her as one of society's winners. Of course, every society has its winners and victims. However, the core issue in China today is that the winners are completely unaware of the victims. These individuals cannot understand the social pressures faced by the victimized group, and in some cases, they don't even recognize that such a group exists. It's like those who relentlessly mock homeless people in the US. They fail to acknowledge that homelessness is also a problem in China. This situation stems largely from the CCP's propaganda. In China, there is a clear divide. Some people lament the difficulty of finding work, while others enthusiastically talk about China's rise and the flourishing economy. While there are certainly some 50-cent army individuals, many genuinely hold these beliefs, and I can understand where they are coming from. Living in China and not yet experiencing the full brunt of the economic downturn, it's easy for many to come to such conclusions, especially under the CCP's strict control of speech and the constant media influence. Every day they see headlines praising China's electric vehicles or boasting about China's outsmarting the US. It's hard to make them realize the harsh reality that ordinary people in China are facing, the struggles they endure. It's similar to how difficult it is for Guan Chenchen to understand the pressures Wu Liufang is under. Of course, this only explains why Guan Chenchen can't emphasize with Wu Liufang and why privileged groups struggle to emphasize with those who are disadvantaged. But what about Guan Chenchen's hostility toward Wu Liufang? Is it really because, as Guan Chenchen said, Wu's behavior is discouraging people from pursuing gymnastics? The answer is clearly no. This hostility isn't unique to Guan Chenchen. It can be seen in many members of the privileged class in China. So where does this hostility come from? To understand that, we need to examine how individuals like Guan Chenchen and other privileged groups perceive their own success. Looking back at the careers of Guan Chenchen and Wu Liufang, their early trajectories share remarkable similarities. However, their paths diverged sharply around the age of 17 or 18. In 2012, Wu Liufang at 18 suffered a career-ending injury during a balance beam competition, which not only dashed her Olympic hopes but also marked the premature end of her gymnastic journey. In contrast, Guan Chenchen remained injury-free and continued to excel, eventually competing at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics at the age of 17, where she clinched the gold medal in the balance beam event. Wu Liufang's luck simply didn't match Guan Chenchen's. If Guan had faced a similar injury at 18, her circumstances might have turned out even worse than Wu's. Yet many in Guan's position as winners rarely acknowledged the role of luck in their success. Instead, they attributed their achievements to their own intelligence, dedication, and talent. This mindset is deeply influenced by the long-standing nationalist indoctrination by the Chinese Communist Party, which promotes a form of social Darwinism. Instead of extending empathy to those who are struggling or part of the victim group, many respond with contempt. Their attitudes reflect a pervasive sense of superiority and arrogance, a phenomenon increasingly prevalent in today's China. Recent scandals involving major influencers highlight this phenomenon. Take Li Jiaqi, for instance. When a viewer complained that an eyebrow pencil was overpriced, Li dismissed the comment by accusing the viewer of not working hard enough to afford it. This arrogant response led to a massive public backlash and the unraveling of his image. The video revealed Li's inability to recognize the financial strain many people face today. With consumption habits shifting due to mounting pressures, instead of empathy, he displayed the typical arrogance of someone who sees themselves as a winner, blaming others' struggles entirely on a lack of effort while ignoring the broader economic challenges shaping their realities. Another recent scandal involved the influencer Yang Maoyue, a young graduate who quickly rose to fame online, attracting nearly 10 million followers, primarily students like himself. However, success seemed to cloud his perspective. In a recent video, he dismissed his fans' struggles with unemployment, insinuating that their inability to secure jobs stemmed from a lack of effort. This video showcased his arrogance and the typical superiority complex of someone who sees themselves as a winner, entirely overlooking the systemic challenges his audience faces in the current job market. These examples illustrate the mindset of some of China's so-called winners. While their success can be attributed to the personal effort and the talent, they fail to recognize the role that the luck and the broader socio-economic environment play in their achievements. In a time of rapid economic growth, it might have been reasonable to say that a lack of progress was due to personal shortcomings. However, in the current economic downturn, attributing a lack of progress to a lack of effort is completely unreasonable. It reflects a lack of understanding of the immense societal pressures many are facing. Yet, these so-called winners in China today remain unaware of this reality. What's even more heartbreaking is that within this group of so-called winners, there are also some who are actually victims, especially among the younger generation. If we compare Guan Chenchen and Wu Liufang, aside from the difference in their Olympic achievements, there is another clear distinction: their age gap. Wu Liufang, born in 1994, is now 30 years old. After retiring, she enrolled at the Beijing Sport University in 2014. Assuming a typical 4-year graduation timeline, she should have graduated in 2018. She has been out of school for several years and has been part of society for a long time. However, Guan Chenchen's situation is quite different. Born in 2004, she is just 20 years old this year. She entered Zhejiang University in 2022 and is still a student. So she hasn't yet entered the workforce. Without experiencing the pressures of society, she cannot fully understand the struggles that Wu Liufang at 30 faces in supporting her family and herself. This lack of real-world experience has led her to mistakenly view herself as part of the winning group. In China, this situation is widespread, especially among many college students who have yet to graduate. These students live under the shelter of their parents and have little to no understanding of the harsh realities of society, which leads them to believe they are the winners in this system. A recent viral video shows a conversation between a taxi driver and a college student, highlighting their stark differences. The student, inexperienced in life, speaks of evil capitalists, the state, the ideologies, and the lofty principles. Meanwhile, the taxi driver, weighed down by life struggles, focuses on survival, income, pensions, mortgage, and the responsibilities of providing for the family. Though both are talking about China, they are speaking from entirely different perspectives, and their worlds have become completely disconnected. In the college student's words, we can see the arrogance and the self-assurance typical of someone who perceives themselves as a societal winner. His attitude implies that the taxi driver situation is the result of not working hard enough. This detachment from the realities of supporting a family leads some students to mistakenly view themselves as successful members of society. It's likely that only when they step into the workforce and experience society's challenges firsthand will they truly grasp the struggles the taxi driver is talking about. For Guan Chenchen, the situation may be similar. Her ability to criticize Wu Liufang so confidently comes from her lack of understanding of life's pressure. Despite attending Zhejiang University, her status as an Olympic champion may have helped her gain admission. But it's clear that the real value of her diploma is limited. When she enters the workforce, if the government doesn't offer her a stable position, what options will she have? In a few years, her Olympic fame will have faded and endorsements will likely dry up. With her current physics, she excels in gymnastics but may find it challenging to transition to other careers, such as performing provocative dances. Only then, when her glory fades, will she truly learn to emphasize with Wu Liufang's struggles. In my opinion, given the economic downturn in China and the CCP's strict control over speech, society has become sharply divided. One group consists of adults whose lives have been heavily impacted by the economic struggles, along with the recent graduates facing difficulty finding work. Together, they represent the victimized segment of society in the current economic climate. The other group consists of those who are still living comfortably, unaffected by the economic downturn, and those who, sheltered by their parents in the safety of academia, remain unaware of the broader societal struggles. Some of them are genuinely thriving in today's society, untouched by the economic hardships, while others wrongly perceive themselves as successful. The group, represented by figures like Guan Chenchen, is completely incapable of emphasizing with or understanding the hardship faced by those in the victim group, such as Wu Liufang. Even if they were aware of these struggles, they would likely blame the other person's misfortune on their own lack of effort or ability, while attributing their own success solely to their own hard work and excellence. In this scenario, rather than offering empathy or support in response to others' hardships, they respond from a position of superiority with a dismissive and condescending attitude. This only deepens the social divide. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please like it, drop a comment below, and hit the subscribe button right here. It really helps YouTube suggest my videos to others. I'll be back with more content soon. Until then, be well.